What's going on, my paisanos? Welcome back to a brand new special video. And in today's video, we're actually going to be going over a little problem that's going on with like Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now I'm going to get into my general thoughts about this game. I know I actually made a video a little while ago telling that like it was like a waste of time. I do want to actually kind of proofread that, I guess, in a way, but I don't want to get into like my honest thoughts about Sonic X Shadow Generations right now. But that will be a little bit later. I first want to get this out the way though, of this whole entire problem going on with you know, the apparent Sonic Forces gameplay style nature of this game. And if you guys don't know me, I absolutely hate Sonic Forces. It's the worst Sonic game of all time to me. And for you to make that statement, that's got to be a pretty crazy statement. You gotta know what you're talking about for me to get behind that. And I just want to kind of like analyze and see if like these people really have anything to really say on this matter. Like I want to see like if this game really is like the next Sonic Forces in terms of level design. So really just real quick right here, I don't want to watch this entire thing. You know, you're gonna be seeing it throughout the entire video anyway. But basically, so what Sonic Forces nature like gameplay is basically Sonic Forces was like, in terms of its level design with modern Sonic, because that's the best thing that we can actually compare it to. It had a lot of hallways. A lot of people say it had a lot of hallways. It had a lot of QTEs. Levels are boring and really short. And I just kind of want to get this out the way. Apparently, the levels in this Shadow Generations games, I've heard people say like, apparently they go up to like 5 minutes. They've like hovered around there or something like that, like the 3 to 5 minute range, which was not Sonic Forces' length. But you know, we have to wait to see and believe that. But you know, so far I'm just gonna be honest, like, you know, this is not like a crazy deep analysis or anything, but like here we have like you know, Shadow going through the space colony arc just like in Sonic Adventure 2. Shout out to Sonic Adventure 2. And I just want to say right now, I do not like Sonic Adventure 2 that much. Yeah, I don't really like it, you know. And if you want to call a game a hallway game, if you want to call anything Sonic Forces just by the fact of it having a hallway, I guess Sonic Adventure 2 basically is Sonic Forces, like before Sonic Forces was Sonic Forces, right? But that people never call that game Sonic Forces, so it doesn't make any sense. And also, it's not just the fact that like there's linear hallways. There was other Sonic Forces like problems that Sonic Forces had. So like, yeah, you have Shadow going through this place. I mean, there's like way too many dash panels right here. Another thing that a lot of people say is like, you know, Sonic Forces had a lot of automation, but as you can see, actually, I just realized this right here. You see this like, oh my god, I hate this so much. You see like this big open room? This is actually what I'm really excited for. You got a couple different pathways. You could jump up there, go and attack that artificial chaos. You could go on that dash panel, go all the way over there to the other cross of the room. You could somehow get on that dash panel, get on that grind rail. You probably have to jump over those boxes to the left. You can also jump to those boxes on the right. What do you guys, hold on now, come on now. Now y'all know full well that Sonic Forces did not have this variation in level design. This was more Sonic Generations. And fun fact, apparently this game is going to be having, they're gonna actually have some level designers from Sonic Generations, and you know, that's very far away from the Generations. I mean, well then again, Sonic Forces also had apparently the same people who made, you remember that trailer where they said the same people who brought you Sonic Colors Generations? That was a freaking lie. But yeah, I don't really see the comparison there. Yeah, but like, you know, there's just like, honestly, this is more like Sonic Forces like level design. I think it's actually a little bit better than Sonic Forces level design. And when I'm talking about Sonic Forces, I'm speaking about like the cyberspace levels, which were, yes, they were very short, but there were so many of them that it didn't really matter. So like, I didn't really mind the fact that there was a lot of them. But seriously though, I'm not seeing the Sonic Forces like influence here. Look at this. This is a lot more like, if this was Sonic Forces, you could just be holding, you could play this with one hand. All you guys know. I know you guys know about that one level that you can just play with just like one hand. and it's like absolutely ridiculous and shows the incompetency of that game. Now, this is one thing I actually do not like. I do not like a copious amount of like QTEs and set pieces. I know Sonic fans go crazy for this stuff, but keep this stuff in cutscenes, man. I do not like it when a game takes control away from me and starts doing like some random crazy cutscene. And mind you, this is like after like a little bit of the stage is going on, and then like Shadow like falls and goes in like this little automated cutscene. And this is like in the level too, so I mean it doesn't last that long, but it takes away like control from the player, and I think it just disrupts the flow. I mean, no classic Sonic game was like that, unless like it was like when Sonic was going to Death Egg Zone in Sonic 2, or I guess when Sonic was helping Knuckles in Hidden Battle Zone in Sonic 3, but those were like just few and far between. But Sonic Forces was full of that. I hated that one level where you're saving Sonic from space, and like the controls literally robbed away from you. I hate that. But yeah, this is basically what I guess what people are talking about. Like, this is Sonic Forces. And of course, I guess we have just some regular Generations gameplay, which, yes, I know everybody's saying they messed up the spines. I don't know how they did that. It makes no sense why they did that, and they didn't even change it. And also, the game doesn't look that much like different, which is again disappointing. I do not. I'll get more into my thoughts in a minute, but like, you know, there's not really much to go over though. I mean, all I can say right now is that Sonic Generations still, to me, it's still the Sonic Generations portion could have just been re-released on like PlayStation 5 or whatever, and then just have like Sonic the Shadow portion be like its own thing, because like this part right here is just like it's the same, besides like different controls or whatever, which is cool. But like, oh yeah, now we also have like the Bio-Lizard stuff. So I guess I really want to just get into like my actual thoughts about this game actually now. But the whole Sonic Forces argument is completely just a fallacy, you know. And I actually, you know, no, hold on. Before we have to remind ourselves how this freaking game actually looked, right? So this is Sonic Forces, right? You got a long stretch of road doing absolutely nothing. You can't even boost because the rings don't give you boost, because they know the goddamn levels are so freaking short as they are, that if you were to boost it at all, it would just be like 2 seconds long. Not to mention the fact that there's no freaking like people talking to you. Look how freaking fast this is going. Like, all you're doing is just running. You're jumping a couple times. You know, even the 2D section sucks. Did not care for the 2D sections at all. You know. And then, hold on, let's go to another level. Let's go to Park Avenue. Not Park Avenue. It was Sunset Heights. Right. This is like a great indicator of the level design. Right. This right here. I remember. This is the level that people hated from Sonic Forces. Right. Or not people. This is like the level that people like use as an example to say like, oh yeah, like this game is like Shadow is like, this is like Sonic Forces. Look at this. What is Sonic doing right here? All he's doing is boosting through some enemies. And there's like really nothing else going on. Right here, there's like, what, one alternate path right here? You can go up, you can go down. He goes through some rings. He boosts again to just go through some dash panels. You can go down there and like destroy those enemies. Oh yeah, now Sonic's going through a set piece. The control is just taken away from the player. Going through a loop. And he's just boosting, going through this like random like look at this like soulless like platforming too. Like, they're just kind of like trying to add platforming just to make it like, oh yeah, well you're not just doing that, but you're also doing platforming just to give it some more flavor. But the flavor, there was no flavor. So then, like, you know, he's just boosting, yeah. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess the level's about to go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hey, look, it's Shadow from the shit. See what I'm saying? Like, there's no comparison. Like, there's like literally not a lot of alternate pathways, which we need to realize that that's actually a very integral thing for Sonic. The hallways are just gateways to the 2D sections at this point. The level design in general is just terrible. You know what I'm saying? And if we're gonna like I said, Sonic Adventure 2 let's see what they did, right? Let's go to City Escape. Shout out to Sonic JB, by the way, because apparently I keep going to his videos. So of course, at first we got this long set piece with you know, riding on the board or whatever. But then it's not even that long, and it's actually kind of fun to do. But as you can see, it's a hallway, like, and especially at this point, it is literally a linear hallway, unlike something like Sonic Adventure, which also did have a little bit linear gameplay, but also had expansive level design. But look at what you're doing here, though. There's first of all, even when you just, like, when you first land in City Escape, right? You got a couple options. You can either grind on the grind rail, you can run up the stairs, or you can, you know, try to jump up to the platform or break those boxes. Then it gets even more crazy. You can either go to the right, and if you have the light dash shoes, you can go light dash on those trailer rings on the right, or you could run on the wall, or you could run on the ground right here. Just defeat some robots, go on the other grind rail, break these boxes. And the great thing about this is that one of the most important things about Sonic level design is that it doesn't break the flow. All of these like level design cues in this level is it doesn't go against the flow of the game. It keeps the pace going. And you know, yeah, this is a hallway right here. This is literally a hallway. You cannot tell me that this is not a hallway. You have, look, right there. Let's go all the way freaking back right here. Why can't we go to the other parts of the city? I know this is a city, but this is literally how every single like level in this game is actually structured, except for like Final Rush, right? But like I said, right here, you're doing so much in these hallways that you might not even really care, even if you're doing the same things every time you replay these levels. But this is literally a hallway. Why can't I just go left or right here? Still, there's two things to do right here. You can do that, you can grind, you can, like, there's just so much going on with this right now that there really is no comparison. And this is the pure example of a hallway style Sonic game. So there really is no comparison here with, like, there's really no comparison with Sonic X Shadow Generations and there's like this hallway stuff. In fact, I think one of the big problems with Sonic level design is the fact that they're in hallways in general, but the way that they use those like hallways is actually, you know, the most important thing. Now, why isn't it as open as the classics? Well, first of all, the classics do not have a Z axis, so of course that makes it so that it might be a little bit more challenging for developers to, you know, have that kind of like expansive gameplay. Now, Sonic Lost World actually kind of did this right, I would say. In terms of like the funnels, like with the, you know, the planetoids like in Mario Galaxy, because you had like so many different ways to like travel in those worlds. But Sonic Lost World isn't the best game. But the point that I'm trying to make is the fact that this stupid argument with, like, you know, the place looking like a hallway or whatever is just like absolutely stupid. Like, Sonic X Shadow does not look like it's not Sonic Forces. I can tell you guys right now, this is not Sonic Forces. This is nowhere near as bad as Sonic Forces. I'm telling you right now, as someone who hates Sonic Forces with a passion, like I said, this does not come anywhere near close to that freaking piece of. I guess I'll just make another video and just like describing like my feelings towards Sonic X Shadow Generations, both the Sonic Generations and the Shadow Generations portion. So yeah, I guess I'll just do another video. So with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys understand that anyone who says this stuff are absolute glycoquarks. They have no idea what the frick they're talking about, and they should probably go see somebody for all their, you know, mental problems. But you know, that's just me. And I just want to give like all my thoughts in this video, because that video was kind of like its own self-contained thing, and I've been kind of silent about it. You know, I've been trying to like get my foot back onto like video making and stuff like that. But here's basically like my opinions on it. Now I'm gonna get, you know, or out the Sonic, you know, Generations part out the way, because of the fact that, well, that we already know what's gonna happen with that game. The Sonic Generations part it's just Sonic Generations, you know. To give you guys like my like stance on Sonic Generations, it's a good game. it's just not the best game. Like, a lot of people say that it's one of the best Sonic games of all time, but I personally think there was a lot of missed opportunities for that game, and there was a lot of things that they probably should have done, but they didn't. And I honestly feel like it kind of lacked there. The best way to play Sonic Generations for me is on PC with like mods and stuff, and I feel like mods have actually like, enhanced that game a lot because of the fact that, can play more stages, characters, and all that stuff. And I just think that that game was honestly just so underwhelming, like, looking back at it. There was other Sonic games that were for the anniversaries, like Sonic Mania, Sonic 06. Despite what you say about that game had a lot going on with it. And Sonic Adventure 2. And all these other games, like, they just had so much going on with it. But, like, just this game, had some classic Sonic, a couple levels, a couple bosses, some music, and then that was it. It was just another Sonic game. And I just think that Sonic Unleashed, if that was actually the 20th anniversary of Sonic, that would have been a lot more satisfying. I would have been like, yes, this is great as a 20th anniversary title. But I just think that Sonic Generations was just a little underwhelming. But with that out the way, I still do think it's a really good game. The level design is amazing. The boss fights, the cutscene is not that good. Like, the story mode is not really all that spectacular. But I do feel like Sonic Generations is a good game. But what does this actual, like, remaster have anything to do? Like, what does this actually bring to the table? Not much. The game still looks great. I mean, honestly, I don't think the Sonic Generations really needed a remaster because the PC version of Sonic Generations has always looked amazing. They didn't change any of, like, the lighting, the colors, or anything like that, which I don't think they really needed to, because some say that Sonic the Hedgehog Engine 2, which I'm not sure if this is running in a Hedgehog Engine 2. It probably is running in some type of, like, back end or something, but I think the Sonic Hedgehog Engine 2, personally, I think while it probably is, like, more capable graphically, I don't think it's actually that good looking in terms of the art style and, like, the effects. I think a lot of colors in the Hedgehog Engine 2 look really washed out. If you actually look at the Sonic Forces, I mean, not Sonic Forces, but I guess Sonic Forces, Frontiers, and like Shadow Generations. I think that while the Hedgehog Engine 2 has some great graphical capabilities, I don't think they're actually using it to the fullest extent, which is the reason why I still say Sonic Unleashed is still to this day the best looking Sonic game. It's not just because it's Hedgehog Engine 2 is it's graphically inferior, like, it's in terms of, like, its power in terms of the Hedgehog Engine 2, but I do feel like the Generations, I do feel like the art style really sold it well. And even if you look at the little small details, like the shadows being a little pixely, or like some of the textures being a little off, well, you gotta think of it like this. If you look at the Mona Lisa, like, very up close, you're gonna see, like, probably a whole lot of, like, the different, like, brush strokes and the different like, incongruencies and all the imperfections. But if you look, like, from it from afar, you're gonna see that it's amazing. And that's just kind of how art works, like, looking at the little textures and stuff at the seams. It's weirdly not what you should be looking and paying attention to. So really, that's the reason why I say that, like, like Sonic Generations Unleashed, Hedgehog Engine 1 actually definitely looks better, because Hedgehog Engine 2 just makes everything washed out. So thank God it's actually not running on that engine. So, like, and thank God they didn't, like, actually make the game, like, have the same, like, graphical, like, stuff that's going on with the other Sonic games. But overall, the game looks really, like, okay. Like, it looks basically the same. They did change the controls. I like it. I actually like the fact that the boost is actually on R2 now. And I love the fact that they actually put the, the homing attack back on, like, the X button, or the square button for the PlayStation controllers. And apparently they added the drop dash for Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic, which Classic Sonic, by the way, is basically the same, except they messed up one of his quills. I have no idea why they did that, but I think that was probably a deliberate attempt, but they're probably gonna fix that. I know Sega doesn't usually do that. Like, you usually think that Sega would probably, like, fix little things like that in, like, patches, but they usually don't. But I think they'd actually probably fix that, because there's been a lot of, like, fan outcry about that, because it literally just looks wrong. But yeah, they added, like, the drop dash, they added the boost. I think, what, it really would be really cool if they, like, added, like, the spin dash. I'm not sure if it's actually in the game, like the actual spin dash. But overall, I think it kind of is, like, a good attempt at the making the game the way it is. But I think honestly, Sonic Generations portion of Sonic X Shadow Generations is basically just the same. I think you're still probably fine with just owning the original version. I think it does kind of warrant, just because of the, the drop dash, the spin dash, and probably like the new modding capabilities. I think maybe it'd probably warrant a purchase, but overall, I do think that the game itself is just like the same old basically. So that's basically my opinions on the Generations portion of the game, or the regular Sonic Generations portion. Now for the Shadow Generations portion, good Lord have mercy. I wish I could gush about how I gushed about it when I first saw this stuff, but I didn't record like a reaction to it because I've been extremely busy. But the Shadow Generation stuff is like absolutely incredible. Now, I think in my last Sonic X Shadow Generations video, I did say that it was a waste of time, and I think in one of my parts, I actually was saying like, oh well, basically you can just play like a mod for Shadow in Generations and just have that be that. And I do feel like that still is a viable statement. I'm not gonna lie. Like you thought I was probably gonna say like, oh well, I don't think you can do that now, but I do feel like Shadow is like, you could still probably just get an old copy of Sonic Generations and then just play a Shadow mod, just download a Shadow mod and just play it like that. But I do feel like this is actually warranted, because the new stages and the new layouts and like the cutscenes and actually the story apparently with like Black Doom, like I actually think that's actually warranting a purchase now, because the thing about it is that Sonic Team seems very scared of like acknowledging like past Sonic games, and I love the fact that they're now like even acknowledging like even the bad stuff, the quote unquote bad stuff. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Shadow the Hedgehog is that good of a game at all, but I do like the fact that they're starting to understand that there could be some good stuff coming from these quote-unquote bad Sonic games, and they're starting to make new and fresh ideas that come from this stuff. I love the fact that they're like bringing back Black Doom. I don't know if if the Black Doom is voiced by like Goku anymore. It'd be really cool, but a lot of people have been saying that he's probably not, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, the cutscenes in the story apparently is going to be like very important for Shadow. Apparently it's going to go right back to Shadow the Hedgehog, and I love all like the callbacks to like Shadow the Hedgehog, from like the stages, the music, the clear music theme. I hope they bring back like Westopolis. Now apparently what Shadow Generations is going to be like Shadow's like own thing. Like it's going to be like his generations, like he's going to go through levels that he went through in his past instead of Sonic's. Basically stuff like, Final Rush from Sonic Adventure 2, the Rail Canyon from Sonic Heroes, and stuff like that. And I hope they bring back a whole lot more. Like I really hope they bring back stuff like Westopolis, Skyrail, Final Chase. A lot of these levels I really like, and a lot of other people like. So I hope that they will, and I think they will. But and apparently the level design itself, like I already said it kind of in my Sonic X Shadow, like the Sonic Forces comparison video. I did say that the level design actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty expansive and has a lot of like alternate pathways, at least what I saw in the Final Rush level. And I do love that stuff, because it really does make the game actually seem like it's got like its own like juice, like it's got like its own stuff going on. And I do like what I'm seeing so far. It actually looks like it's pretty good. And I'm really excited to see like the levels, and apparently the levels are going to be like 3 to 5 minutes long, which another way to say that this is not going to be Sonic Forces, but because those levels were like a minute or at 2 at best long. But 3 to 5 minute stages with expansive level design, with stages from Shadow's Past, amazing. I love that. And like the awesome like remixes. A lot of them I heard though are like EDM remixes, like from Sonic Frontiers, which I did hear some of them. I didn't really like some of them, like honestly, but that's just a me thing. And it's not like they're like bad songs or whatever. I just think that they could have been a little bit better. But overall, I think what we're seeing right now is actually pretty good. One thing I don't really like about this is the fact that like the set pieces. I really do not like set pieces, or like quick time events in Sonic games where like they completely take the control away from the player, or it's like completely changes like the stage. Like to give an example, I actually really don't like the end stage of like the end part of like City Escape, where like Sonic is running away from the the gun truck. I hate that part because like it completely changes the level and it goes on for a little bit too long to me, and I just don't like stuff like that because it just completely goes against the flow of the stage or whatever. And Sonic X Shadow Generations does seem to be kind of like full of that, with like Shadow Generations, with like the like when Shadow, like it's cool. It's a cool scene where like Shadow like punches a missile and then kicks it and like it makes it explode. That's a cool scene, but they should have just left that to like a cutscene or whatever. Because honestly, I don't really care for stuff like that. I just think there should just be a cutscene, but. That's probably just a me thing, because like honestly it seems like no one else has a problem with it, and it's in like literally like in every Sonic game ever. But I think maybe I'm just like burnt out from that, because Sonic Forces had a lot of that stuff and they were like so stupid and worthless. And I'm not even a person, like I said, I don't even hate quick time events like in any other game, but for some reason in Sonic it just infuriates me to no end. Except if it's Sonic Unleashed for some reason. Yeah, Shadow's portion in Sonic Generations looks pretty great. I love everything about it so far. I even love like the bio lizard fight, and I just love everything about like all like the callbacks. I do hope that we kind of get like a darker story as opposed to like the regular Sonic stories, because like I do like when Sonic gets kind of dark, and Shadow does seem like a darkish character, and maybe we can have some more light shed on the fact that one thing I actually really hate about Shadow the Hedgehog is the fact that in that game, he actually completely at the end of the game he like disregards like his feelings towards like Maria and Robotnik, or Dr. Gerald Robotnik, and I always hated that because of the fact that just because it's part of your past, I understand like the idea of letting go is very like tantalizing, but like I think him like being very noble about it and trying to uphold like Maria's promise by keeping like the world safe and to make everybody happy, that's a very noble thing. Like there's things in life that you just can't forget, and Maria was a part of his life. And ignoring the fact that I think that Shadow honestly should have died in Sonic Adventure 2, because honestly I think that would have been like the better story decision. And I know that I'm saying that as like a big Shadow fan, but I do think that he should have died in Sonic Adventure 2. But him resting with Maria would have been very like satisfying. But like I just imagine like Maria kind of like looking down at Shadow and like just being very proud, and as well as like Gerald Robotnik as well. This is coming from like all of the sins from Shadow's past and everything like that, but I don't know. Everything does seem like it's like a Shadow year. I mean, they did say it's a year of Shadow, and rightfully so. I mean, we got this new game coming out. We got him being in the Sonic movie later this year, and there's a lot of other like crazy stuff going on with Shadow, and rightfully so. He is one of the best Sonic characters ever, and I'm very happy to see all this stuff. It's a lot to cover. I'm not a Sonic Update YouTube channel. I just give like all my thoughts, but at this point I'll probably do a review on Sonic X Shadow Generations when it comes out, seeing as how I am doing more reviews now. I'm still working on the Half-Life review. I'm just working on a couple of like little changes and all this other stuff that I kind of want to do. But for the most part, though, I am looking forward to this game now. I do think that it is partially a waste of time. Like half of the game is a waste of time. Like Sonic Generations portion is just, it's just not doing it for me. I don't think it really warrants that. But hopefully the price isn't too much. I even though the Shadow part it's like cool. I don't know if it'd be worth it if it was like $60. Maybe, who knows? But we'll see. Well, that being said, guys, this might basically like my thoughts on Sonic like Shadow Generations. I do want to make more Sonic videos, but it's been a little kind of a journey. My videos have been kind of like not doing as well as they should, but I'm still here though, and I know the algorithm basically hates me at this point, and I've just been extremely busy. But I think we're getting into an overpass right now. But with that being said, guys, if you guys like this video, like this video. And if you guys like you saw and you want to see more, not subscribe to the channel. All my social medias will be in the link description down below. But with that being said, guys, thank y'all for watching. Have a good night if you're watching this. Hasta.